Good afternoon, everybody. I'm hoping that everybody is having a great day today. So today I wanted to talk about the last two lives of Sir King. Actually, three because he did a two-part live yesterday. So technically, it would be three. Today's lives, meaning this morning, and then the one before that. So um, I first wanted to start off by asking if anybody can leave in the comment section. And by the way, thanks to the new subscribers and all the support from everybody that I'm receiving, whether it's negative support or positive. But the first thing I wanted to ask was that if anybody knew the similarities between Zillz and Sir King and why does people think that these are the same person. I wanted to know why, or what type of like proof or evidence someone had, because I don't know. Like I wasn't around when Zills was around, or when the wrench was around, so I don't really know the similarities that they had for somebody to come up with the conclusion to say these are the same people. Now, when I was listening to one of Zill's video, I noticed that he stutters. Like he stutters a whole bunch while he's speaking. Sir King doesn't stutter as much. He does stutter here and there, but it's not as constant as Zills does. So I wanted to know if he is using some type of voice device. Does that prevent the stuttering or what? Because you think he's doing it on purpose? Because that's something to really pay attention to. If he has like a speech impediment, Zills, and he stutters constantly, and Sir King only stutters like here and there, that's something that I would want to know more about. Like I don't get that. I don't see the similarities between the two. I do see, like, I can hear the voices, like the similarities with the voices, but I'm trying to figure out how can somebody stutter as much as Zills does and Sir King doesn't, unless he's the person that Zills is doing it on purpose. So that's something I wanted to know more about. Next, I wanted to talk about Sir King and his God complex. It seems like he thinks that he is some type of god over the YouTube beef sector. And I say that because, like, he'll make statements like that he's everywhere in the beef sector and he knows everything. Like, he sees it all, he knows it all. And then the other day he did put something on his community post about letting people back in that were blocked, like letting them back into the gates. And I took that as like, you're letting them back into what kind of gates? The heaven gates? Like, what's that about? I don't know. But I also wanted to discuss how I noticed the difference between his first two lives. Now, if you guys were paying attention to when Sir King first started doing lives, I'm not talking about the pre-recorded videos he would do. I'm not talking about those. Go back, if you go on his page and you scroll all the way to the bottom, if he doesn't delete these videos, pay attention to the ones that he would do live on the StreamYard. When it was like, one was like 50 minutes long, the other one was like an hour. Just pay attention as the days progress from when he first started doing them. It was one called, I think, Red Pill, Blue Pill, or something like that. That's where you can start at. And just notice like how defeated, depressed, and sad he sounds. This is when he was doing his show all alone. He didn't have anybody up on the StreamYard. It was very boring, and I'm not trying to be smart, but it really was. The chat was barely moving. So I'm not sure why he takes shots at people that have a low subscriber count or a low view count when you started there as well. And it was very unentertaining. Okay, if you guys go back to those beginning videos, you can see that. You can also see how he discusses in one of the videos about how his intent to come into the beef sector was going to be positive, and it's so draining how negative people can be, but yet this is what you do every night. You put this type of show on. This is the opposite of what you were talking about in the beginning. This is why I point you out. This is exactly why I bring up stuff about you, because you're the one who said, and I'm talking about Sir King, that your goal coming to the beef sector was to be the positive force, right? The different one. You didn't need to be into, battles and gossip and all that to be successful. And you don't. You don't have to be, but that's, you decided to do that. And so now you're the total opposite of what you first started out with. Okay. So, what else did I want to talk about? It was a woman in one of those lives that's in the beginning of when he first started. Her name is Pandora Childs. She still follows him. But she made a comment in one of his lives, and she said that asked Sir King did he live with somebody because she wanted to know why was he whispering. I said the same thing, and that's funny that I saw that because that's the same exact thing that I think about him. Even when he gets upset, he tries to say that he's a calm person with a calm demeanor, but if you pay attention, he's always whispering. Like I said, either he can be at an overnight job where it's very relaxed and he's able to do these live streams, or he is living with somebody, which is nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying he's living with somebody and he's trying to keep his voice down. But it's a reason why he speaks that low and that calm. So yesterday he did do the live. It started yesterday when he had mentioned something about Lady Nika and the Nola, that crew, and how they enable Kiki, which I don't understand. How can you call somebody out and you want to tell somebody that they're enabling somebody? They can't control that person. Like, he is a grown man, like people were saying. You say so many times how don't tell me what to do, don't tell me how to run this, don't tell me how to run that. So who are you to tell somebody else how to do something about another person? Is it because, once again, this is your enemy, so you're being obsessed with controlling people and trying to tell them what to do because you don't like another person? You can't do that. You can do that, but you shouldn't do it. She has nothing to do with another person's actions, and he's going to do what he wants to do. So leave it alone. Also, I wanted to mention when Jessica B came on the panel, she was trying to explain what happened to herself and Olivia the Oracle and why they got into this argument. And Sir King wasn't interested. It's not, Olivia the Oracle is not somebody he is beefing with, so he's not interested in that obsession. So he could care less. So then he put on that skeleton picture, which I think when he does that, I believe he's bored with what's ever going on. And instead of him showing this woman respect and listening to what she was trying to tell him, he puts on the skeleton picture, and when she was asking him about something, he was saying things that she never even said. So that showed that he wasn't listening. He could care less about what she was saying. And you could tell Jessica B became annoyed, and so she ended up leaving the panel, which I would have left, and I would have, just not came back. But, she'll probably be back again because this is how this goes over there. So after that, he had Peaches, who I believe is a teacher, on his panel. And I like her because she is positive, and she, tries to give positive aspects on things. And she was talking about how, the online school, what you shouldn't do. As parents, you should be aware of what's going on. And I noticed that the numbers started falling when Peaches was up there because many of the people that's in this chat, they don't really want to hear positivity. So they were complaining about Peaches being up there. They was, making a whole big deal. And I don't understand that. This is what confuses me. Like, this platform is supposed to be based on positivity. It's supposed to be a difference in the beef sector. No, it's not going to be perfect. We already know that you want to be entertaining, but this is what Sir King said that he was all about, that he was going to be the, the positive element in this sector. He was going to bring that. But I don't think that I think he meant that maybe at first, but then when he saw that people were not interested in that, he started to sell his soul and go in the direction where as though he's going to get the views, he's going to get, the cash apps or whatever it is for the messiness. So to me, that's like selling your soul because you're not really sticking to what you intended to stick to, you are selling out to what's popular and what the masses are drawn to. That's what I have an issue with him. The reason why I don't say anything about other people doing that in this sector is because you already know this is what they're about. And they they're honest about that. They don't try to hide it. Going towards the end of the show, he did get monetized, or he monetized his channel, I believe yesterday or the day before. So congratulations to that. I'm not a hater. But leading to the end of the show, there was, when he came back to do the other live, it was a person called HB, I think Houston bred, on the panel, and QI. These were very interesting people to me, because this is when Sir King's channel started to take the form that I want to say he introduced in the beginning. That those people that was on that panel, HB and QI, and there was a couple others after them, those are the people that had me saying, you know what, this is interesting. I even made a comment in his chat. This conversation is impressive, because you can sit there and you can, talk about the mess. You can get excited. Okay, it's entertaining, right? But don't try to justify the messiness and the entertainment as to try to, convince me or convince the audience to say, oh, well, this is why I do this, because it's entertaining. No, if you're going to stand on something, you have to stand on that and stand firm on it. Don't try to sway to the left or the right so that you can appease others, to become more popular. That's called soul selling, okay? No matter how you look at it. And this is what you're doing. These people that were on that panel last night, and Sir King, I might say that he didn't really say much when they were on the panel. And I found that interesting, because it seems like when it's very ratchet, he has many things to say. But when HB and QI was on that panel, they really controlled that conversation, and Kwani and somebody else. But I did actually learn some things from that panel that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that Africa was not the original name. It was something else that was original. I mean, that was different. And I think it's called Alkebulam. I think that was the original name. And I just felt like it was a very positive conversation. One thing I did like is that they were talking about politics and religion, and nobody got into an argument. That was another thing that was very good. That's the stuff that he should, go towards. He can't say that talking about that stuff is not going to get people in there, because clearly it was over 200 people in there at one point, and they were still talking about this. So people were interested, and it stayed like that for a while. So, you could use all the excuses that you want to use to try to say, oh, well, I do this because of that, and I do this because of this. But the bottom line is, you're going to do what you want to do because it impresses other people. You're not doing what you want to do in your heart, Sir King, because that's not what you originally said that you was coming on here to do. So you're doing what you think is going to impress other people, what's going to draw other people in. And that's just the honest, the honest part about that. So lastly, I wanted to mention a Black History fact, which I hope I can try to do this after every live, or after every video I record at the end, is Musa Mali. He's considered the richest man in history. He is a Black man in Africa. If you guys want to look into that, Musa Mali. He's considered the richest man in history. There's also a great book that I did read when I had my children. When I first had my children, I bought a book called Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys by Jawanza Kunjufu. And that is a very good read if you guys have sons, if you guys have grandsons. It's a very good book to purchase, and it'll go a long way. It really would. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for everybody subscribing. Leave comments, leave some feedback on anything I discussed today. I know I was like all over the place, but just talk back to me, and like I said, enjoy the rest of your day.